If you're planning to come to Singapore or if you are in Singapore and you want to avoid disappointments, this video is for you. I'm going to talk about overrated things in Singapore. You all know I love Singapore, but there are some kind of things that I was really disappointed and I don't want you to make the same mistakes as I did. Wait until the end because there is one of my favorite tips what you have to do instead of one of my overrated things here in Singapore. Also, I'm sitting here on the floor in my new room. My bed has not arrived. I'm currently waiting, but that's another story. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see what's going on with my living situation. Back to business. Number one, Singapore Flyer. Not only is it $40 per ride, it's 30 minutes, and all you get is a nice view. I must admit, when I went, I was quite lucky because there weren't a lot of people, so we didn't have to wait a long line, and we had the whole capsule to ourselves. But there can fit in 28 people, and I don't want to imagine being stuck there with 28 people, maybe children. It's very small for 28 people, and all you get is a 30 minutes ride. You get a beautiful view, but that's it. If you want a good view, go to my favorite peak. It's a 25 minutes walk up to the peak and you get a beautiful view on Singapore. You can also go by cable car from Sentosa, which is a beautiful ride. Also, the view up there is great. Another thing is level 33. It's a bar in CBD and you get a nice view on Marina Bay Sands and the skyline in the background, especially at night. It's very nice. And you get to enjoy the view for $8 and you even get a cold drink, depending on what you order. That's definitely my recommendation to do instead. Number two, the famous Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which is iconic and I totally understand why everyone wants to stay there. My mom stayed there and I saw her room and I was honestly a bit shocked because the room is very old. It is with carpet and all the little things. You can just tell that it hasn't been renovated for quite a while. And the room was around $650 per night and it was just a standard room. It had a nice view on Gardens by the Bay, but not super spectacular. You do get access to the pool, but the famous pool is, first of all, super crowded all the time. Second of all, it's very cold. So you're gonna really enjoy a lot of time in the water because it's really, really cold. The entrance of the hotel, you enter it by the shopping mall. And you don't even get the luxury of someone who takes care of your personal booking. You felt like one in a million. And I think for a hotel in this price category, you should really get some kind of luxury treatment, which I didn't feel like that was happening. What I can recommend as an alternative is also where my mom stayed when she was here and another friend. It's Hotel Jen. It's on Orchard Road and it has a very nice rooftop bar. It has a rooftop pool. It is around half the price of the Marina Bay Sands, around $350 a night, and it's very centrally located. I think it's a very good alternative. Number three, Spago Bar Lounge. It's a very famous rooftop bar here in Singapore because it's on top of Marina Bay Sands, but the prices are just insane. I think you pay around 25 up to 30 Singapore dollars for one single cocktail. It's super crowded. You always have to wait in line for around 20 minutes to even get a seat, or not even a seat. You can only stand at the bar. It's very loud. You cannot even have a proper conversation. And as I mentioned before, you just get the view out of Marina Bay Sands. But in my opinion, it's even more interesting to see the Marina Bay Sands with a good view. Another bar I can recommend for this is Lantern. It's on top of Fullerton Hotel, where you can get a beautiful view on Marina Bay Sands itself, especially at night. You get a beautiful skyline. It's still expensive, but there at least I felt like the service was very good. They were very friendly and you didn't felt like rushed through. This is definitely something you can skip, the Spago Bar Lounge. Number four, if you are a friend of nature hikes, don't go to Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. I did the hike a few months back and I was so disappointed. There was a sign saying to the summit, so I was expecting, okay, we're gonna climb up all the stairs and then we get rewarded with a beautiful view. No, all that was there is just a hut and a stone saying that this is the summit. No view, nothing special. It looked like an industrial area. My suggestion for a better hike is the McRitchie Treetop hike. It's one of the most famous hikes here, but I really think it deserves the hype, as you get to walk over a bridge where you have a beautiful view. You are in the middle of the jungle. And there are so many animals. We once even spotted a boar. There were lots of monkeys, lizards, I felt like I was in a zoo. Just be aware, the bridge is closed on Mondays, but the good thing is that there are not a lot of tourists, so you basically have to walk to yourselves. So if you don't care about the bridge, I would still recommend you to go. There are different routes, either around 45 minutes one way or up to 3 hours, depending on which path you take. Number 5. Sentosa Cove Water Park, and this was the biggest disappointment ever. First of all, it was quite expensive. Second of all, there were so many people. There was a wave pool and I couldn't even get into the pool because I was bumping into children and families. Second, there were around 4 slides and the wait was around 50 per slide. And I really didn't want to like wait 50 minutes in my wet bathing suit to slide down 30 seconds. And for every additional attraction, for example, swimming with dolphins or anything else, you have to pay extra. The food is very expensive. Even the lockers is around 5 Singapore dollars. I think it's really not worth it. If you still want to go to a water park, go to Wild Wild Wet Water Park, which is more in the north of Singapore. But I've only heard good things about it. I haven't been myself, but it's on my list. Last but not least, a food recommendation, which I think is very overhyped, and that's Birds of Paradise. I was so disappointed. I waited for 15 minutes in line. I was very disappointed with the flavors. They had a lot of fruity flavors, which aren't my favorite anyway. I got 1 scoop of hazelnut and it was good, it was okay, but over $6 per scoop, I expected some kind of, I don't know, mind-blowing ice cream experience. What I can recommend you to do is go to Van Leuven at Orchard. It's 313 Somerset. And it also is expensive, but I think there it's really worth it. You get these crazy flavor combinations of brown sugar with pretzel pieces and caramel swirl. So you get really like unique flavors. And another one I can recommend is the ice cream bar, also on Orchard Road, which has liquor infused flavors, which you cannot find anywhere else. I haven't seen it anywhere else in Singapore. For more tips, just follow my Instagram because I share a lot of secret insights of my life here in Singapore, what I can recommend and what's overrated and what you need to know before coming to Singapore. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!